Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Five Kings Motorsports YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tanner Marr, over on Five Kings Network. We're here tonight for the Hawkeye State 150 at Iowa Speedway. It's going to be a very entertaining race this Saturday night Syndicate Cup Series presented by the Original Rebels Racing League. Like I've said many weeks, the last 2 weeks, this is a league that's put together by Matt Geist. He started this, but it soon morphed into something much bigger. They got ARCA series, they got trucks, they have Cup, like we're saying here tonight, they have Xfinity, then they have a sister series called Thunderstruck. They do tour mods and super late models on short tracks. So check them out, Original Rebels Racing League on Facebook, iRacing, basically anywhere. I mean, they are just spider webbed out, and they are reaching far and wide, a lot of different spots. And we got asked to come aboard and broadcast this series, and we are super stoked to come aboard and be a part of this series. Thank you to Matt Geist, Jesse, and all them guys for bringing us on. It's been a little rough to start with the first few weeks as we're getting accustomed to doing these live broadcasts, but we're learning as we go, and we hope you are enjoying the ride with us, folks. But let me be quiet for a minute. Got my main man Jason Raymond up in the booth with me tonight, calling all the action. Jason Raymond, how you doing tonight, brother?
Doing pretty good. I'm looking forward to this one. It was a great race last week, and hoping for the same show tonight.
I'm hoping so too. I mean, Iowa, we're a short track team. I mean, that's what we were built on, was racing these short tracks with the super late models, the tour modifieds and whatnot. And so, I mean, this is right up our wheelhouse. And you see the air temp today, or for tonight's race, is 68 degrees. So that's going to provide some grip for these boys as the race goes on. The track temperature is actually 93 degrees, so it will be a little slick. Heard reports from the driver, Jason, like I'm sure you did, that setup feels a little tight. They are running the iRacing fixed baseline Cup Series setup for Iowa Speedway. So, I mean, it is a little tight. That's something the driver's going to manage. They have 7 tires in the pits tonight. I think tonight's race is like 176 laps, Jason, or something.
That is correct. Yes, 176 laps.
All right, so I mean, it's going to be all about preserving your equipment while also trying to maintain your track position. You never want to fall too far behind, because you got drivers like, I mean, shoot, we've already seen it. Eddie Smith, he's won 6 times already. You can't let him get too far out. You get him too far of an advantage, it's hard to bring an advantage back and catch up to him. So you got to play chess while everybody else is playing checkers here tonight, as these boys are going in the qualifying here. Let's see if we can catch somebody out on track. I think we got William Griffith currently turning some laps out on track. He may have already finished his laps. Tyler Gatke, is that right? I do
That is
believe.
correct. Yep.
In the 16 machine. So as it stands right now, we have Joshua Sexton in that 051, fresh out of the Five Kings Motorsports stable. He's currently sitting P1 on the board. Scotty Stevens sitting P2. Kai Shappert sitting P3, and Brandon Pollock P4, Tyler Gatke P5, but there's still a lot of people left to qualify. We got Brandon Wallace currently heading out to the track now. Let's see what he can do as he tries to put down some qualifying laps here. I want to pull up this little side ticker, that way we can see how the times are shaking out compared to everybody else that's already went out. I would say, Jason, that some drivers are electing to hold off and stretch out qualifying as long as they can, because as we know, I mean, the track may get cooler. It could get hotter. It's just kind of a game that we play, but usually with it being the setting like it is tonight, the track should cool down a little bit, and as we know, it means more grip.
Oh yeah, for sure. They got 10 minutes to complete 2 laps, and a lot of these guys are just hanging around waiting for the little cloud to come over, or the track to cool off a little bit, because times will pick up when that track gets cooler, and that's definitely what these guys are holding on for right now.
Brandon Wallace just went up to P12 on the board. That's his first lap out. Going to come out this time by. I see Mark Arthur. He was number one in practice. Let's switch the camera over to Mark Arthur in the 11 machine. See what he's able to do in that FedEx Toyota Camry out here tonight. It's his first race in the series. Interesting to see how he shakes out. I know Mark personally, and he's not a big fan of these Cup cars, but he does love short track racing. So he saw Iowa tonight and watched the broadcast and said he wanted to be in this series, so we got him in here. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, for sure. Also, another thing I was noticing during practice earlier, these guys they are running different lanes. It's not going to be a one lane racetrack like last week. We saw both lanes being used, so looking forward to that as well. Get some two groove racing going and hope for some good action here as Mark Arthur heads down the backstretch and into turn 3 on qualifying.
His first lap by, he went up to P5. Let's see what this second lap's going to give him. Mark Arthur in that 11 machine is going to go P1, top of the board. Mark Arthur, he's about 5/10 quicker, or 500 quicker, excuse me, than Joshua Sexton there. So a little bit quicker as it stands right now. Brandon Wallace is actually still out on track. I think he's pulling it in now. Jonah Colbert is out there. That's a good-looking 31 Oklahoma State ride this week. So we're noticing a trend up in the booth, Jason. You actually informed me. We think it's college week, so you'll notice that a lot of your favorite drivers might have a little bit different paint scheme, repping their favorite college schools, and I think that's pretty cool. Ooh, Jonah gets a little loose right there.
Yeah, I was noticing some of these guys were. I did a little practice laps in earlier on, and it's tight through center, but it actually sometimes will randomly try to step out on you. So that's something to watch for as well. As who knows, it could be an issue on corner exit for these guys tonight.
We got Mr. Six-time Eddie Smith out on track. I want to stick with Colbert right here, see where he ends up. Currently shown to me as P6. Let's go ahead and switch over to Eddie Smith, see what he has. He's on his out lap now. Ooh, gets a little bit of loose out too. This actually might be his first lap, Jason. We'll have to wait and see as he comes out of turn 4 here. Chuck Pegleg Felts, that's the owner of the Pole Award, just went P14. Eddie Smith this time by P16, going to pick it up a little bit. We know he can, though. That's Eddie Smith in the 87, repping Mississippi State this week. It's a good-looking ride.
He's coming at a turn 4 here. Let's see where he goes. Will he move up in the rankings? And that time by, he was
P1 on the board.
Top of the board.
Just went top of the board, knocked Mark Arthur down. Got him by 100th of a second. 100th of a second. So Eddie Smith went up with a 23.18. Mark Arthur 100 shy with a 23.19. And we have Steve Loving out on track now, I do believe. And if I do recall, this number 27 out of the JBR Motors. Ooh, gets a little bit of loose. If I do recall, that Coca-Cola Zero machine was started up near the front last week. If it wasn't the pole sitter, I do believe so.
I'm not sure. I don't remember, to be honest.
Christian Deadman out there from Reaper Racing. He may have already completed his laps. Took it up to top 5, P5 on the board. Going to be starting inside row number 3. Well, nope. Daniel D. Cunningham just took the spot. P5 on the board. Daniel D. Cunningham. In that Oregon paint scheme. That's a wild live paint scheme. As I think the track, we got a few drivers still electing to bring in their final few minutes of qualifying. We got Logan Sturgeon out here right now. Logan Sturgeon just rounded out his second lap, and he knocked Daniel D. Cunningham down. So they're fighting over at P5 spot. As you see, he's got the Buckeyes, Ohio State on that ride. And Aaron Adcock, he was really fast last week. We saw him get up there. He led some laps and then fell back a little bit, and ended up hurting his race because I remember him running around without a front clip. His second lap around, he just went up to P11, so got a little bit of an uphill battle for him, but not too bad, not too bad. As we finish out qualifying here, Jason, why don't you let the fans know who the presenting sponsor is of this series?
Yes, sir. The presenting sponsor would be Jason Reisman Insurance and Keswick Group. Get insured at reisman.getinsured@gmail.com. We'd also like to thank Seth Griffith and Kinder Farm and Ranch.
Thank you guys. People don't realize how much help just little stuff like that is. Just having somebody that believes in you. It goes a long way, a long, long way. But the Poe Award tonight, that's the Peg Leg Phelps Poe Award. Mr. Chuck Phelps is the presenting sponsor for the Poe Award. It's going to go to the man, none other than Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith with the Peg Leg Phelps Poe Award with a 23-18 here tonight as these drivers go to the grid.
As we wait for them to grid, I just want to touch up on that's a very close field. Definitely going to be interesting race here. We wait for them to all grid up.
It is. It's going to be. Iowa is a track that does have multiple grooves. We do know that. Iowa has multiple grooves, but also there will be a preferred lane tonight as we go through the grid here. For the Hawkeye State 150, like I said, Mr. Six-Time Eddie Smith out of JC Motorsports puts it on the pole. Got Mark Arthur firing off on the outside of row number 1. Starting to the inside of row number 2, that's Joshua Sexton at 051. Scotty Stevens starting P4 on his outside. Rounding out your top 5 is Big Fish Motorsports' own Logan Sturgeon with Daniel D. Cunningham firing off in P6. Christian Deadman and Kai Shepard, that's row number 4. Cameron Combs and Jonah Colbert, that's going to round out your top 10 with Aaron Adcock and Brandon Pollock, 11 and 12th respectfully. Moving a little further down the grid, we got Chris Reese. We know he's a winner in this series, starting P13th, a little further back this week than what he was last week. With the number 99, had a rough week last week. That's Brandon Wallace from Reaper Racing, starting 14th with Tyler Gatke, rounding out your top 15 starters. Justin Hendry, Steve Loving, Mickey Isaac, Tia Swink, and Christopher Heiner. That's your 16 through 20th starters. Chuck, Mr. Peg Leg Phelps, starting 21 out of Big Fish Motorsports. And then the one and only Sam Wetstein in that number 98 machine, rolling out P22. Joey Buscemi in that 8 car, rolling out 23rd. And Adam Lane out of Pale Horse Racing, starting 24th. And a little bit further down, we got one of the hosts for the series, William Griffith out of Reaper Racing, 25th. And Josh Lokenvance will be rolling out at the tail of the field, number 26. Man, oh man, I am excited to see that pace car pull off. I'm excited to see these guys try to fight and jockey for position here tonight. I'm ready. I'm ready, Jason. I'm ready.
That makes 2 of us. I am ready for this action here tonight.
As we see, they got the gender-neutral pace car out there, so I can't be saying that beautiful Silverado all week, so that's the one damper of the spirits. But other than that, we're in high spirits. We're going to fly high here tonight. That pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Coming out of turn 4, Jason. It's boogity, boogity, boogity time. I'm sorry. I won't never say that again. I apologize. I just got in the moment.
Oh, yeah, no, I feel that. It's about go time here as these drivers are getting ready, pulling the belts one last time, getting ready for that green flag to fly for the first time.
You got 26 of the
laps.
Yep, 26 of the fastest Cup drivers on iRacing are suited up in Iowa right now, getting ready to go for 176 laps at the Iowa Speedway. Eddie Smith gonna make them wait for that green flag. You got Eddie Smith, Mark Arthur, Joshua Sexton, Scotty Stevens. They're all side by side going into turn 1.
They still see side-by-side racing as Eddie Smith is down on the bottom. Mark Arthur trying to pinch him to make him not allow him to get off the corner as much as he wants to. We see still they're not giving any room here. It's lap 1 and they're still side-by-side. I'm surprised. I thought they would try to single file it out and get some green flag laps in. But Mark Arthur power moves to the outside out of turn 4 right there.
I think as the race goes on tonight, we're going to see drivers start to mitigate up to that high lane, Jason. We know it's a lot easier to put the power down when you're on that high side. You ain't got much input in the wheel. You're not cranking that wheel nearly as hard. And that's going to allow you to actually put the throttle in. We go further on back in the pack. Daniel D. Cunningham started P6. He's falling back a little bit, just one spot really. So just going to slot in now and just try to click off laps if I was these drivers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Super early on, lap 3. You know, got a long race ahead of you, and just trying to save the equipment, not trying to push the car too hard, because you never know. Like I said last week, it's racing and anything could happen any moment.
Ooh,
So
we actually
just
just
be
saw
smart.
Scotty Stevens broke a little loose right there. That's going to allow Logan Sturgeon to get to that outside of that O2 machine. Not actually able to carry the momentum in. I think Logan just thought better. Logan's very smart, very patient driver, and I think he just had second thoughts on jumping to the outside of Scotty after he saw that O2 machine get loose like it did. Folks out there
As
in
we,
what we'll call viewerland. Sorry, Jason. Uh,
you're good.
who's who's your pick tonight? Who y'all got? Who's your favorite driver? Put it in the comments on YouTube. Let us know. Let us know who you got over on the Five Kings Network, over on Five Kings Motorsports.
We see the gap between first and second kind of it grew a little bit. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure about 5/10 of a second is the gap between first and second now, but yeah, who knows? Eddie Smith could be just hanging out back and saving his tires.
Ooh, I have noticed that Sam Wetstein, the tattletale box is telling me that Wetstein crashed and Tyler Gatke went off track. Let's see if we can go back and catch what happened here. This is your replay brought to you by the Kinder Wreckage Cam. That's the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Cam. Ooh, we seen it. Got down low, got a little loose, and oh, just
Heavy
pancaked it.
contact
Yeah,
to that inside wall.
pancaked the inside of the wall. That's gonna be a tough hill to climb back from, Mr. Sam Wetstein, with no fast repair in the pocket.
No caution too, so he's gonna go
Right.
at least one lap down here.
A few laps down by the time he gets that damage fixed. Shout out to Brandon Pollock. He's currently up to ninth, gained 3 spots from the grid. And that '04 light blue machine, that's a good looking machine. Got cookies on the side of it. Nice.
We got a Mark Arthur fan in the building in here.
Ooh, the cookies
We
gets
see the
loose.
04 get loose.
Cookies got loose. So, Jason, you are my eyes in the sky when it comes to the comments. You got to let me know what the fans are saying.
Yeah, we got a Mark Arthur fan in the building. As we see the
04
04,
pushes
every
up.
time I look at the comments, there's something going on, and 04 is struggling.
I think once he got a little bit loose, that put a little bit of heat in the tires. So now he's just trying to calm it down. He went from gaining 3 spots since the time they gridded to -1. We're already 10 laps into this thing, folks.
As I'm noticing, that 04 car has some front end damage to
A
that
little
front
bit.
bumper,
I
and
noticed that.
I believe that's from. I don't know if you noticed it, but that initial start towards the middle and back of the pack, they kind of stacked up and playing a little bit of a bumper tag back there.
As we switch over to William Griffith in that 12 machine, he's currently the biggest mover of the race, gained 7 spots. But Tyler Gatke, man, oh man, he started 15th, fell back to 25th. We saw him have initial contact a little bit with Sam Wetstein whenever Sam got loose. That made Gatke go down the track a little bit. But ultimately, looking at that car, I don't see no damage. I think he'll be okay if a caution was to ever fall.
Oh yeah, I believe when he came by that last time, I saw a little bit of right rear panel damage, but that shouldn't affect him too bad.
Okay, so there is a little bit of damage then.
Yeah, it shouldn't affect him too bad as we look at the number 3 Monster Energy car. It's a pretty good, pretty nice and clean, simple looking car. Right?
I'm pretty sure this is Christian, the coach Deadman, or Deadmon.
That is correct. Yes.
If I do recall, that's the coach. So he's a really fast driver too. But Mark Arthur, he has jumped out to almost a 1.5-second lead over Eddie Smith. Has to make me wonder, is Mark Arthur, is he asking too much out of his equipment? Yes, you do have some tires in the pits, but if the caution never comes, you can't really go get them tires. You don't want to pit on the green at a track like Iowa.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I touched on that a little bit earlier. I maybe wasn't sure if Eddie Smith was playing the smart route or what was going on there.
As we go to a cockpit view of Mark Arthur, and then we're going to jump back with Eddie Smith. Just going to see, ooh, Caution is out on the racetrack. Somewhere on the speedway, caution is out. Looking like Christopher Heiner was the one that brought out that caution. Let's go back on the Kinder's wreckage, Kinder's Farm and Ranch wreckage replay. You see that 24, that's that William Byron replica paint scheme, that Chevy Camaro. Ooh, down underneath, I'm not sure who that was, and car just got loose. He locked up the tires and ultimately could not keep it off the wall. Backed it into the wall a little bit, but luckily for that driver in that 24 machine, that Chevy Camaro did get the back part of it with some damage, but it's Iowa. I don't think that's going to hurt him too bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looked like
As
maybe.
we see drivers faking each other out. Sorry, Jason. So I think you have noise suppression turned on or something, Jason. Whenever you first start talking, I guess it's cutting you out because it's picking you up halfway in your sentence. So I can't. Sorry, folks, for that at home. I can't never tell when he's talking. That's why we keep interrupting each other, or I keep interrupting him. But yeah, we had some fake outs right there.
Then see if that would help my situation here.
Okay. As we see Steve Loving, Brandon Wallace, Chuck Pegler-Felts, Adam Lang, Tyler Gatke, Christopher Heiner, Sam Wetstein all hit pit road. Interesting call right here. Let's see what these drivers elect to do as we're 16 laps in. I see the right side's getting jacked up on Gatke and Wallace. Taking left sides as well. Those drivers got 4 Mr. Feelgoods. There's 2 drivers to watch as they try to come up through the field. 7 sets. You might as well use them, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you got the tires. Why not use them? I know you're only 16 laps in, but if you have that many sets of tires, you might as well use them and maybe try to stretch out a set or two so you don't have to worry about it later on. But for now, I think that's a good call. Try to advance some track position, and like you said last week, getting everything on the restarts you possibly can is very important at tracks like this.
You're exactly right. Track position will be key. Tires will be key. If you can get a little bit of both, have like the best of both worlds, we'll say, then you'll be golden here tonight at Iowa Speedway. This is a really fast type short track. So Rusty Wallace helped design this track, and Rusty Wallace's favorite track whenever he was racing in NASCAR was Richmond. And so they kind of modeled this track a little bit off Richmond. It has the Richmond feel to it. Even when I'm out on track, if I'm in the super late models here, the modifieds here, or even these cup cars, Xfinity trucks, I feel a little bit of Richmond on this track. But with all that said, it does drive slightly different than Richmond. I look at Richmond more as a short track, whereas Iowa feels like a faster style short track. I don't know if that really makes sense to people, but Iowa just feels like a really fast track, kind of like Nashville Super Speedway in a sense. Yes, they're short tracks, but the speeds they hit here is out of this world for a short track.
Oh yeah, I always think of it as a longer style short track. A lot of some people wouldn't even consider this to be a short track, because when they think of short track, they think of half mile or shorter, but it's definitely, not a mile and a half, and obviously not like Daytona or Talladega. It's two and a half, but I don't know. I like this track. It is fast paced, really, really fast, and pretty bumpy too. So that's something.
You see them cars. You're right. Yeah, it looks like they're low riders. The low rider. You see them just sitting there bouncing a little bit. That's almost probably before your time, Jason.
I know what you're doing there.
Well, then finish it for me. As they're about to go green flag racing.
I'm not singing there, bud. All right, as the pace car's about to turn left onto pit road, and we are getting ready to see some more green flag action here as we have Mark Arthur on the inside and Eddie Smith starting on the outside of the front row.
Tell you, my driver to watch is that Logan Sturgeon out of Big Fish Motorsports. I seen it kind of stack up again right then, a little bit further on back in the pack. So what happens is those drivers that are about 3 to 4 rows back, they think that leader's going, so they go and then they have to brake, and then man, it's just dominoes, an accordion effect after that. As you see Eddie Smith, Mark Arthur, they're side by side going in 3 and 4. They're one lap around this time, side by side with Joshua Sexton and Scotty Stevens, also side by side behind them.
Oh, we're seeing Eddie Smith make the same type of move Mark Arthur did earlier on in the race. It seems like the outside is, you carry momentum off the corner exit, and it's allowing these guys to carry more speed down the backstretch. So we saw the same thing with Mark Arthur early on.
Right, and it makes me kind of wonder if Mark Arthur, he's new to this series. This is the first race he's done in this series. I wonder if he didn't know whether he had lane choice or not there.
True. I didn't think of that. Or if I wasn't paying attention, but I wonder if he knew restarts were on leader too, because
He did
it
go
kind
on
of looked
green.
like they went on. Yeah, it looked like they went on green.
Right. Oh well. That's maybe something that they need to find out pretty quick if there's another caution. If you're the leader, you need to know those kind of rules, because I mean that gives you not a huge advantage, but only you know when you're going to go. But that time Eddie Smith fired off right with Mark Arthur and got around him and got a comfortable lead over Mark Arthur right now. As you see Mark drive it in there pretty deep though.
As we see, it looks like they're starting to get a little tight on corner exit there. I'm not sure if that's just the lane. Like I haven't driven this car and track combo that often. I've only done it in a practice session, but I'm not sure if it's just the way you run here, or if it looks like they're starting to get a little tight here.
It does look as if they're starting to push up off the corner, and it's like that wall reaches out and grabs you. And for your Mickey Isaac fans, I just seen him in Tattletale box. He got in a little bit of trouble and had to tow to pit road, so that's a tough break for. I'm pretty sure that's the 22 machine of Mickey Isaac, or the 01, excuse me, Mickey Isaac on pit road now. We go a little bit further on back in the pack. I feel like I mentioned these two names last week, and that's going to be William Griffith and Josh Lokovents when I kept on talking about the biggest movers last week at Kentucky. Well, guess what? Newsflash, they're the biggest movers here tonight. William Griffith has gained 12 spots since they gridded up. Josh Lokovents has gained 8.
Hey, as we see, I'm not sure if I was seeing stuff, but it looked like that 12 got a little loose on exit of 4 last time by.
I think they're battling that tight to loose condition. They're tight in the center of the corner. They're putting a lot of wheel in it. And you just got to get that wheel out of it by exit, or you're going to be the back to rear end of that car is going to try to start stepping out on you. And that's where that looseness comes from.
We see the 75 of Chuck Phelps coming underneath the 12. Who's the 12?
The 12 is the William Griffith. You got
Okay.
Mr. Pegleg. He looked underneath him, but I think that inside line is going to be hard to pass. You're just going to have to drive it in, just send it. And that's like what Chuck Phelps and Mr. Pegleg in that 75 is going to try to do here going in 3 and 4.
Yeah, you know, I was talking about the 2 lanes again. You can tell the inside line definitely has a better run through on entry and through center, but by the time they get to exit, that outside line carries so much momentum that they're able to close the gap and even stay alongside as we see the 75 clear the 12 that time by. He's gonna stay down low. He's working that bottom. He's going to attack Cunningham now.
Just slowly but surely, methodically, picking off these drivers one by one. That's what you got to do when you're. It don't matter if you're 5th or 15th. You just, when you get stretched out like this, a little bit of single file racing, you just got to work over that guy in front of you. You got to race the track. That's a very cliche thing you hear in racing a lot. You got to race the track, but also Chuck Phelps having to race his competition now as well because he is in traffic. So if you can pick them off one by one safely, man, oh man, you'll be golden about like that number 75 paint scheme. And speaking of paint schemes, Mr. Raymond, I think before they smash them up and bash them up in the Rebels Demolition Derby at the last, like we saw last week on the last broadcast at Kentucky, the winner gets their smash up, you know. Let's switch over to the Smil Racing Designs best paint scheme of the night. Who you got?
Oh man, I'm not sure. I like a lot of these cars, but I might have to go with the 23 of Aaron Adcock. I like feel like the chrome number is a good fit to complement the blue and the white with the black. I think the chrome number helps it stand out and easier to see, but I don't know. I like the color blue choice there. I don't know. I like the paint scheme overall.
So my best paint scheme presented by Smil Racing Designs. I went with Eddie Smith last week, I do believe. This week, this guy was an honorable mention for me last week, but this week, gotta go with the 31, Oklahoma State, number 31, Jonah Colbert, and that Ford Mustang. It's looking beautiful out there to me. I like the color scheme. I like how it flows together. gives me a Richard Childress vibe, and then you put it on a Mustang, so it kind of changes it up a little bit because, as we know, they're Chevy Camaros. So, my Smil Racing Designs best paint scheme of the night goes to Jonah Colbert, number 31, currently sitting P9.
You see a close call there. It looked like the 15 got a little loose there on exit right in front of Jonah Colbert. He had to check up there. Could it could have ended badly, and that's not something I want to be saying, but it's possible. Smart move by the 31 there to recognize what was going on, in front of him and let off, and
As we
could have
head
been
back
a
up,
great move.
as we head back up to the front here, Mr. Raymond, I'm noticing a trend here. A while ago, it was Mark Arthur in that 11 Toyota Camry that jumped out and had a little bit of a comfortable, sizable advantage over second place, and now it's like deja vu, but roles are reversed. This time it's Eddie Smith that's leading, and Mark is the one chasing. So that tells me that clean air is probably really valuable tonight. And that's something that I bet these drivers they put in a memory bank and they try to think back to later on into the race.
Yeah, it was also both of the guys started on the outside of the start, so maybe the outside on a restart is the place to be and makes you advance some positions. That's what it's looking like right now. But you also, you got to think maybe Mark Arthur was pushing a little too hard in the first couple of laps, and he could have put too much heat into those tires, and it's costing him now.
We did see him jump out to almost a second gap over Eddie Smith, so you're exactly right. Something to note here, Joshua Sexton, I don't know if he got loose or what, but he lost 2 spots in a hurry right there. As you see, Logan Sturgeon at a big fish trying to work over that 0-2 machine of Scotty Stevens. I will be honest here, folks. Scotty Stevens' 0-2 car, I love that paint scheme. But since he's part of my camp and my team or whatever, I really couldn't give him the best paint design. I do love the 31. I love the 0-2 just as much. Both those cars. I mean, Scotty Stevens, that's going to be my Smil Race Designs honorable mention of the week. I see Josh Sexton get back around that 26 machine of Logan Sturgeon. I do apologize. I'm still trying to learn everybody's numbers. I'm starting to figure out a lot of the guys' numbers, but this week being college week, they're changing paint schemes up on me a little bit. It's still a little curveball at me, I will say. But we are starting to get it. You see Joshua Sexton going to try to look underneath that 0-2 of Scotty Stevens. Those are teammates working together right there. I'd say Scotty's probably going to break early right here and let Sexton have it. Live to race another day right here.
I wouldn't necessarily say they're working together right now. They're battling pretty hard.
They are.
Scotty Stevens isn't giving it up. Now he let off really there, and he's gonna try to file in behind him as we jump up to Eddie Smith out front.
Working it up to almost 6/10 of a second lead over Mark Arthur in that 11 machine. I want to give a shout out to Pegleg. Mr. Phelps is up 12 spots. We saw him go down and have a pit stop, so I'm wondering if Phelps must have been in that group that took 4 Mr. Feelgoods, because, man, he's not only looking good, he feels good right now in them 4 fresh Goodyears.
I was curious about that, because when the green flag came back out, he was picking them off pretty quickly and rolling the bottom really well, and maybe he did take tires, and that's showing us tires are very important here if that's the case.
I want to showcase the banking here. When we're in the other camera angles, it's kind of hard to really see what the banking is like. This gyro camera, gyro, whatever you want to call it. They placed the camera on one of the roll bars in there, and you can really tell just how much banking this track has. Not only that, you can actually see the bumps too. You can see where that car is getting a little bit unsettled down low. And now up high in 3 and 4, there's a really bad bump up there. It's like the opposite of turn 1 and 2. 1 and 2, the bumps down low in the middle. 3 and 4, the bumps up high. So basically, you gotta dodge both them. Now, if you're on fresh rubber, you can kind of use that bump to help rotate the car. But ooh, Logan Sturgeon, something has happened to Logan Sturgeon. He is falling down the list fast here. Where did he go? No. Oh, he's blinking out. Okay, sorry, folks. Yeah, Logan Sturgeon's having a little bit of connection issue. Ooh, they got a battle going on up here with Aaron Adcock, Scotty Stevens, Logan Sturgeon.
Yeah, Scotty Stevens just fell back a little bit. He was up. Where was he? He was up in P4, right? Now he's fell back to sixth, and
Well, he was
still
running
seems to be
P3
going
for a minute.
backwards.
Remember, he was racing Joshua Sexton in P3, and now he's back to P6 with a hound of drivers just right on his bumper, the 3, the 31, the 75. They are all right there trying to stick their nose in, and I think right here we're starting to see. We're 46 laps in. We did have one caution in between all this, but I think those tires are starting to really show their wear, and Scotty Stevens is starting to fall back.
How's it going, Matt? As we see, we have Matt in the comments. He's Five Kings drivers are doing all right. We got, if I'm not wrong, let me pull up my standings here so I can see. We got Joshua Sexton in P3 and Scotty Stevens in 7th right now, so they're doing all right.
As I'm checking out the chat right now, we have Matt Gardner. How you doing, buddy? Hope all is well with you. I know you've been sick. I won't say what's all going on because that's not my story to tell. That's yours. But I will say we're thinking about you, buddy. Hope you get to feeling better. Constance Keys pulling for Mark and a big Rusty fan. Shout out. Charlie Gates. Shout out to you, buddy. Eddie is. He's flexing them muscles right now. He's looking fast out there on the track.
You know, I'm kind of noticing something. That 25 car, he has the stickers on the C-pillar. You know those stickers that Ohio State puts on their helmets? I'm not sure what they're for, but he's got some of those stickers on his C-pillar there. I think that's really interesting and is really putting it to full use for that college right there. That's a great idea. I like that a lot, actually. Is that the 26? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's the 26 of Logan Sturgeon. That's the Ohio State Buckeyes machine. Trying to work over the 23 in front of him. I think them chrome wheels on that 26 makes it pop. So that's another honorable mention. There's so many good paint schemes in this series. You see the 31s looking underneath the 26. It's going to take a power move going in 3 and 4 here. He's able to drive it in so much further deeper with those, I guess, 4 fresh tires. Let's check out Jonah Colbert, see if he did. He was on pit lane I think he did take tires. He was on pit lane for 1 minute and 29 seconds. But it don't say he pit. No, he didn't pit. Because it don't show him as a pit lap. Our ones that have pit thus far, we had Chuck Pegleg Phelps, of course. Steve Loving. Then we had to go back a little bit to Adam Lang. Christopher Heiner pitted. Tyler Gatke, Brandon Wallace, who else? Then we had Josh Lokovich pitted on lap 39 off sequence. May have had some trouble. And then Mickey Isaac and Sam Wetstein pitted off sequence as well.
Back up front, as we see the gap between first and second is now just the over 1 second, as Eddie Smith is starting to string out that lead there.
He really has picked up the pace something crazy. But that time by, he was only 200ths of a second faster than Mark Arthur. But that's all it takes. If you're just a few hundreds faster each and every lap by, that's how you get these sizable leads right here. That time by, Mark Arthur was a little bit faster. Him and Joshua Sexton actually ran the exact same lap time that time by. So we jumped on board with Mark Arthur earlier. Let's go back into his cockpit now that we are 54 laps in and see how this driver is managing. He sees that 87 out front. He knows that car in front of him is getting smaller and smaller out of his windshield as he's getting further away. So I think Mark Arthur's getting ready to try to reel that driver in 87. But Eddie Smith, I said it earlier, that's not a driver you want to let get out on you too far because, I mean, he can get out there and he can manage that. And that's what fast guys do. They don't sit there and keep on trying to extend the lead because then they burn their tires up. They actually they get out there and try to manage the lead, and that way they're not going super hard on their equipment, or vice versa. They're not taking a risk.
Yeah, you see, I'm starting to see that Mark Arthur, he's super smooth on the wheel on entry and through center, but as he gets closer to exit, it looks like he's having a counter steer because the car's starting to try to step out on him a little bit.
I have noticed too, he's still electing to run that yellow line. He's right on the bottom in 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. He's going to try to dodge that bump. Didn't dodge it that time. He hit it, but didn't hit it hard enough where it really upset the car. But Eddie Smith, he's chasing win number 7 of the season, and so far right now, everything looks like it's going to plan for that 87 machine.
Yeah, as we were watching that in-car of Mark Arthur there, it seemed like he was actually starting to reel in on Eddie Smith a little bit, but I don't know if that's because of pace or if Eddie Smith is backing down at his own pace to save some extra tire.
It went from right at a second gap to almost 6 tenths now, so Mark's gained 4 tenths, and another storyline to watch. That 051 Coors Light Joshua Sexton. That number, I see what you're saying, kind of blends in with the side of the car. Makes it a little hard to see on the 051 Coors Light Camaro, but I think he's pushing Mark Arthur a little bit right now because he had a little bit of a gap between him and that 11 car, and now that gap is non-existent.
Yeah, I agree. I'm wondering if Mark Arthur's starting to overdrive or mirror drive a little bit, because like you said, there was a gap there, and that gap is closing rather quickly.
I want to give an update to Matt Gardner and to Scotty Stevens. He just elected to do a green flag pit stop. He actually pitted on lap 56 4 laps ago, so we missed it. So, I mean, you're getting to the point now where our driver's going to elect to do a green flag stop. Are they going to try to stretch out the fuel as much as they can? As you see, Eddie Smith, he is actually getting close to Scotty Stevens. Jason, you can look and see if Scotty Stevens is a lap down. I do not believe he is a lap down as of yet. Yes, he is. He's 1 lap down.
Yep.
In danger of going 2 laps down. Because I do believe Eddie Smith, that Scotty Stevens comes out at 4. Eddie Smith's coming in 4. So, man, oh, man. That shows right there, green flag pit stops. That's not what you need. But if you think this race is going to continue to go green without a caution, then these other drivers that have not elected to pit yet, they will eventually have to pit. And I don't think Eddie Smith can catch Scotty just because Scotty is on fresh rubber. And we saw Scotty had good pace. He was running 3rd and 4th for a majority of this race.
Yeah, I after seeing last week, I don't know if there's going to be another caution. These guys are super respectful of the guys around them, and they know what they're doing. So if there's not another caution, that's going to be really interesting for the pit strategy. And like I said last week, I love watching races that have pit strategy play out. It could make or break your race.
It changes everything. I mean, like you just said, it can make your race or it can break your race, and there's literally no in between to that. I mean, you got to try to nail it every week. We race Blazing Pedals on Sunday night, and they do 50% races with stage breaks, and you think with the stage breaks, you're like, well, I'll just take tires every stage. You can't. You only get 2 extra sets, so you got to really think about it. As we see, Pegleg Phelps got really loose up there. William Griffin in that 12 car is up 13 spots as Cameron Combs actually, that was a good save by that number 15.
Yeah, I'm starting to we're starting to see the looseness on corner exit here as these tires start to wear. And it looks like he actually has some, yeah, he does. He has some right rear quarter panel
looks
damage.
like he got up into the wall or something.
Yeah.
So
Not
that's
sure if it was wall or maybe even another car.
Want to give one more Scotty Stevens update. I promise you folks, I'm not a homer. I know he's the first guy on fresh rubber. He's currently almost a full second faster than the leaders on old rubber, but he is a lap down. So you just got to maintain that pace, and hopefully for his sake, hopefully this cycles through. Everybody has to pit under the green because that caution is to fall. Yes, he will be the lucky dog, but he's going to be the tail end of the longest line, lose all that track position.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
I
don't want to say it was I don't want to say it was a bad idea to pick. We saw he was starting to fall back. Maybe he was struggling with those old tires. If it does go green, I feel like he'll cycle back through, and if he gets a caution, I feel like at that point he'll get his lap back, and then he could probably pit again for fresh tires, so he's not at a disadvantage in that way either.
You're exactly right. While we have this time right now, I'm not exactly sure on how to pronounce your last name, Trevor Byridge, but it's a driver in the Rebel Series and one of these Cup Series, Xfinity Truck Series, and he gave me a really pleasant surprise this morning. I woke up, checked Discord, noticed I had a message, and sent me over this logo for us right here without us asking for it or anything. That's Trevor. I know I'm gonna butcher your last name, Byrage. It's BYRGE Racing Graphics on Facebook. Give him a shout out. We do have a paint guy, but we're not just pigeonholed. There's that word. We're not just held down to one paint guy. We love all paint teams. We love everybody that does any type of graphic work. And he hooked us up with that mighty fine logo today. We appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Thank you. That's Byrage Racing Graphics. That's BYRGE. You want to try to pronounce it one time, Jason? So I'm not the only dummy in here.
I'm gonna let you. I'm
All
gonna
right,
let you
you're gonna
try.
let me be the only one.
Maybe actually, hold on. I'll help you. Maybe it's just maybe it's Burge. You know,
It
maybe
might be Birds
you know.
Racing, so I thought about that earlier as well too. And then while we're at it, as we're under green flag conditions right now, hit us one more time with that presenting sponsor of the Saturday Night Cup Series. Send it.
That would be Jason Reisman Insurance and Keswick Group. Get insured at Reisman.getinsured@gmail.com.
Thank you for that, and we do appreciate Mr. Jason Reisman, Keswick Group, for not only ensuring the people that need it, but also sponsoring this league. This is the Saturday Night Send It Cup Series League, Original Rebels Racing Series. That's the Keswick Group being the presenting sponsor. We can't thank them enough, as we got, I think, some other drivers electing to go down pit road now. Yes, Christopher Heiner in that 24 machine is going down pit lane.
I just wanna. I heard over the radios that there was a wreck on the front stretch. I'm not sure if
So
the 52 has some heavy rear end damage on that rear bumper right there.
yes, he does. No caution out on the speedway, and that's a beautiful car. I didn't even notice that car. Look at the number. That
It's
52.
like a sunset kind of. You know,
Right.
that's my honorable mention right there. You know, it was between him and Aaron, and couldn't decide, but that's definitely for sure a good looking paint scheme. As we see some green flag pit stops starting to play out, as we touched on a little while ago, you know, strategy. So maybe these guys are playing some strategy, and we'll see how that plays out for them. Because you know, make or break your race. That's the key thing. That's gonna be my favorite sentence. You got the beautiful Silverado, and I'm gonna be the make or break your race kind of guy.
I'm interested to see when these top 5, top 6, top 7 drivers elect to finally come in and pit. Steve Loving in that number 27, he did pit on lap 15 with the first caution, the only caution thus far. So I'm wondering how much longer these guys from the top 7 up, how long they can actually hold on. But there's still a lot of drivers out here that have not pitted. We do have some drivers that pit, as we see Adam Lang. That's the driver you mentioned earlier, had some heavy contact in the rear end. You see the 43 blow by Eddie Smith trying to get a lap back here. I mean, it's getting to the point now. You're almost 80 laps into this thing. You got to be really wanting some fresh tires, knowing you got 7 in the pits.
Oh, you know, I'm kind of wondering if these top 3 are. I'm not sure how many guys haven't pit yet, but I'm kind of wondering if they're staying out hoping for that caution.
They are. They have to be. You know, they don't want to risk it. But I think as soon as you see somebody within the top 6, top 7, as soon as you see one of them dive down, make a hard left-handed turn on the pit road, I think then you're going to see pit road become really congested the very next time by. That may be wrong. As we see Mark Arthur, he has got all the way up to Eddie Smith now. And he's bringing Joshua Sexton. There's a little bit further behind, but Joshua Sexton's right there with him. Mark Arthur going to try to make that power move to the outside. Not going to be able to get there this time by. Gets a little tight, pushes up a little bit. This is about to be the race right here, folks, as they're going to race who can get the lead, and then you know green flag pit stops got to come pretty soon. I think Mark said he could go about 90 laps, I thought. Maybe not. I'm not sure. It's Christopher Heiner is actually on pit road again. Steve Loving just went down pit road. And that was a driver that pitted on lap 15, so I'm really thinking not only tires, but fuel. I'm thinking fuel is starting to get close.
Yeah, you know, I'd have to agree with that because.
Well, thank you again.
You're welcome. I don't know. I don't race long enough races. I'm a short track guy. I really only enjoy doing short track. So usually strategy doesn't affect me. You usually don't have to pit, but I would assume these guys are getting close to the fuel window. Sorry about that.
I I was handling a lot of stuff tonight, trying to get stuff squared away, but as you see Christopher Heiner trying to come off pit road and get in front of them leaders, not able to do it that time. But I think I heard Mark mention 90 laps, and that may not be correct, folks. That could be, he could be talking about something else, but I feel like he said 90 laps. As I'm currently showing, the top 17 have elected not to pit, other than Brandon Wallace and Tyler Gatke that pitted on that first caution.
I think this 24 being in front of Eddie Smith is actually helping Mark there, and as he's is see the 87 actually get loose there.
Yeah, he got a.
I believe I just heard that the 87 is pitting. I'm not sure if that was correct or if that was a different number.
Okay, so got a lot of cars right there in front of him. A lot of cars. We're going to see if Eddie Smith in that 87 going to slow down and make pit lane. He is. Eddie Smith going to surrender the lead to Mark Arthur in that 11 machine. Eddie Smith's going to come down, and I would have to imagine take that Chevy Camaro, park it, and get full of Sunoco racing fuel and 4 Mr. Goodyear Eagle Feel Goods.
I also would have to imagine now that he's pit. I feel like Mark Arthur and
look
Joshua
here.
Sexton are pretty close behind that.
You got 7.
A whole bunch of cars.
You got 7 cars on pit road now. I'm telling you, Mark Arthur, Joshua Sexton, the rest of the group, as we see them just actually pass by right there. Those drivers cannot afford to stay out there much longer because they're going to lose like a second each lap to these guys that have already pitted because they are on fresh rubber, versus Mark and them, the ones that are still out, they're on old rubber. With the exception of Tyler Gatke, like I said, he did pit on lap 15, took 4 tires, but we're 87 laps into this race now. Those drivers, I mean, just check the lap times out. They have fallen off almost 2 seconds now, Jason. They are a few hundreds off from being 2 seconds off their best times at the start of the race.
Yeah, old tires are definitely something to watch here. As we just saw a car go up and touch the
04.
wall. 04.
Yeah, he was riding the wall.
I'm also kind of wondering if Mark Arthur and Joshua Sexton are staying out as long as they can for now and hoping for a caution to trap some of those guys a lap down.
Or they're just going to stay out and let Eddie Smith have a little bit extra laps on his tires versus whenever they pit. Maybe this thing goes green, and you never know. A 7-lap difference on the tires could be the difference in a race win or finish in second place. So it just looks like they're going to stretch it out. They're going to stretch his fuel out the furthest they can. And I wish we was able to dial up on them drivers. You probably could. You could move up Joshua Sexton, Scotty Stevens, and we could have a word with them and see what they're thinking. Or Mark. I know Mark don't care to talk in race. Try to move up Mark Arthur. Let's get a word with him.
So, there's one issue with that. They are not in the Discord. They are in a separate Discord currently.
Are they? Okay. Well, never mind then, folks. We're going to get a word with them. They didn't come over and play ball with us. I could jump over there and talk to them, but that'd be okay.
That might mess up the broadcast, though, so let's not risk that. So,
right.
Maybe we'll just, maybe we'll be talking to them at the end of the race, and we can ask them the question about what their plan was here.
Go over there and ask them, Jason, and come back and let us know. Let us know what the fuel's like. And then jump back in here and let us know what we got. Because I am interested to see here. As Jason Raymond, he's going to jump over to the other Discord. He'll come back in and inform us on what these drivers that have stayed out, how much fuel they actually do have. As we see Justin Hendry actually electing to go down pit lane now. Justin last pitted on lap 15. He's going to come in and get him some Sunoco racing fuel and 4 Goodyears. And try to get back out there as quick as he can without losing too much time to the leaders. As we see Eddie Smith here, he's trying to get that lap back. As I do believe he is a lap down. He is currently shown as the 2nd lap down. Brandon Wallace in the 99 is currently actually in front of him by almost half a second. So he needs to get in front of Brandon Wallace, that car that's right there in front of him. Once he gets in front of that 99 machine, okay, now Eddie Smith will be considered the lucky dog. I do believe, unless... Yes, he will be considered the lucky dog now, so that is a good thing for him. If a caution was to fall, he would not be trapped a lap down.
I am back with some news. I heard from Mark Arthur and Joshua Sexton that they're getting close to their window here as they're trying to stretch it out as far as they can and hope that one stop they could make it the rest of the way if it goes green.
Okay, so they're actually electing to one-stop this race, meaning only take one pit stop, make it on fuel if it goes green. Now, if a caution was to fall, then that obviously changes the
They're coming down
plan.
right now.
Yep. 11 car 051 are electing to pit, going to surrender the lead to Cameron Combs unless Cameron Combs elects to come down with them. You know, Eddie Smith likes to see that. He was waiting for it to finally cycle. You know, they're sitting on pins and needles, not wanting that caution to come out if you've already pitted. And luckily this time it worked out. As you see, Cameron Combs is falling and caution's out on the speedway.
That is
Mark Arthur going to make a heads-up move, going to pass his pit box. Don't pull in, Mark. Don't pull in. Good move, Mark. Joshua Sexton, don't pull in. Good do. Cameron Combs, keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Heads-up move.
You know, I don't know what would you get penalized if you stopped, or is
No,
it just bad
no,
practice?
you're
I'm
gonna.
not sure. I don't pit under green usually because I'm short track.
It depends on how the pace car goes out. If the pace car comes out quick, you're at a big risk to go a lap down. But you're also, see, they came out 1-2 still because they had such a lead. Whereas Cameron Combs, he is going to lose a little bit of track position, but you hit the nail on the head. Track position. So, because now the people that haven't pitted, they are going to pit now. And so you know you're not going to lose any positions to them. I would see Eddie Smith coming back down. If I'm them drivers that already pitted, I'm going in. I don't know why Mark and them did not go in that time by. Not sure why they didn't go in right then. That's going to give the lead to Eddie Smith and Tyler Gatke right here whenever Mark and Josh do pit.
You know, I'm not sure with that decision there as we see. Yeah, Eddie Smith is now back on the lead lap, so
yep.
I'm not sure what the decision behind not pitting there was. I thought maybe Eddie Smith was still a lap down and they were gonna wait a lap to pit and make him start in the rear while they were still towards the front, but
yeah,
that's interesting right there.
I'm not sure why they elected to not go down then. They have to come down now. Yep, you see that 11 car going down to 051. Who's going to follow? You know there has to be some that follow because they didn't all pit. See the 75 Chuck Pegleg Felts. Even if I'm these drivers that did pit, say 20 laps ago, I'm coming back in here, Jason. You got so many extra sets of tires and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a busy pit lane, and I think the ones that we haven't seen come down right here, I think they came down when the pits were open the last time by. But yeah, tough break that they didn't get actually on pit road when the pits originally opened, because I do believe that's going to put the field in control of that 31 Oklahoma State Cowboys OSU. Is going to be the control car. I do believe. You can tell me if William Griffith is a lap down. I'm not sure. My iRacing timing is still trying
William Griffith is... I don't even see him on here. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta find it.
You know, I'm trying to check the tattletale box.
What number? He's number 12, right?
Right.
He is a lap down.
Let's go back and check the tattletale box and see.
Wait, it says on iRacing it's Seth Griffith, so I think we've been pronouncing his name wrong the entire night.
Maybe. I'm not sure why the caution even came out there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I'm wondering.
I went off to the tattletale box, and for the folks at home, we call it tattletale box. It tells us somebody's name will pop up in red that they have wrecked, but this time all it says is yellow flag and nothing else. So I'm not too sure what brought the caution out there. Maybe somebody stopped on the track or something. But interesting development. And for the ones that are keeping note, since Mark Arthur and Joshua Sexton, they was not able to go in when they needed to. Joshua came out 8th. Mark came out 11th. So they
Yeah, so
lost some track position there.
if we were pronouncing his name wrong, it says Seth Griffith on iRacing. So if we were pronouncing your name wrong the entire night, I
I think it's.
sincerely apologize for that.
I've wondered about that. There's a Seth Griffith and a William Griffith in iRacing. I mean, in their Discord. But this iRacing live scoring and timing. Look, I'll show you here. Let's get rid of this ticker. Go to where is Griffith at? The 12 car right there. You see on my screen William Griffith in the 12, but then you say iRacing showing it as Seth.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me check Discord and see if I can see anything. I don't see him in Discord either, so I'm not sure. You know, I might just say William Seth. I might just say both, just so you know.
As Jonah Colbert's passing the pace car, I think they're having some.
Yep, they are. I just heard over iRacing, they are indeed having some issues. They just extended the caution to try to sort those issues out.
Okay, bear with us, folks. This is so Eddie Smith's passing the pace car as well.
Yeah, I heard them say something going on. All lead lap cars are having to pass the pace car. Not sure. This is one of the unfortunate iRacing glitches, but we'll get it all figured out here. And
luckily for us, we just have to call the action. They're the one providing the lyrics.
True. So we can just talk about them.
They're providing the instrumental. We're doing the lyrics. That's all we're.
Okay. Yep. We can just
So they're still trying to work and sort it out. They just delayed the caution one more time by. This happens, folks. I mean, it could have been the pace car picked up the wrong guy, the wrong driver. So I'm not exactly 100% sure who the race leader is. It's still showing Jonah Colbert as the race leader for me right now. With Tyler Gatke supposed to be second. You got some cars in between them, the 85 and the 04. Not exactly sure on what's happening here. Because you did say William Griffith is a lap down, correct?
Let me check again. I'm hearing now that some drivers are having to let other drivers by, and some are having to let the pace car by, so it's all messed up right now.
As a fellow league owner, you play a dangerous game when you send everybody by the pace car. Because essentially what you do there, you just put everybody a lap ahead of the pace car. So in the pace car's mind, it's on lap 102, whereas the ticker right now is showing me they are on lap 103. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I want to say that Seth/William Griffith, gonna say that from now on.
It's the waiver round, correct?
He is on the lead lap now.
All right, folks, they'll get it sorted out. They delayed it again. They're having some big issues, and while they try to sort out what they got going on right here. Oh, Matt Geis just let me know his legal name is William, but goes by Seth. Either way is fine. Thank you, Mr. Matt. We appreciate that, brother. As you see, Matt, these guys, iRacing has played a trick on them, and they're trying to get it sorted out. This is on Monday and Tuesday nights in another league that me and Josh do race control, and we're head admins for. This is my biggest fear right here. You get under caution, especially on short tracks, because you turn laps so fast under caution that if you have to delay it too many times, man, before you know it, you spent 10, 11 laps under caution. So hopefully these boys can get it to what they think is correct.
I'm hearing reports they are gonna let it go green this time, and then as soon as the last car passes the start-finish line, they are gonna throw the caution. Yellow.
Okay, all right. So, folks, as they do this, just bear with us. I think now would be a good time, since they're not going to be racing. They're just going to get across the start-finish line. Let's go over the schedule a little bit here. Let's see what we got. So, we know we're at Iowa this week, as they're going to take the green flag slowly. Let's pull up their thing. Let me pull it where I can really see it myself. What we got? I
have the schedule pulled up.
Okay, so go through the schedule a little bit. What we have coming up in the future weeks, as I know we're going to be taking an off week after this week, perhaps?
Yeah, that is correct. So it is showing me that
Oh, I got
action
it
will
up. Okay.
resume. Action will resume on September 11th at Texas for 167 laps,
So that's going to be a
and then
very meaningful race right there, September 11th. With I know we're not going to be political on here, but I know everybody knows what's going on with the world. We lost quite a bit of Marines. One Marine is too many, or one life is too many when it comes to life. And we had a few pay the ultimate sacrifice for what we're able to do right now. I can't tell you how much my heart hurts for not only them, but their families, their friends. That's one empty chair at Christmas. That's one empty chair at Thanksgiving. So just be mindful of that kind of stuff. We're coming back September 11th. Didn't mean to get all down on the broadcast, but I mean September 11th. That's a big, big day in America for anybody that was around in 2001 and so far. But then, man, after that, I see the Daytona Road Course September 18th, and then, oh boy,
oh, it's gonna be fun.
Talladega. Talladega, man, September 25th. Mark your calendars now. September 25th is going to be a doozy. That's
Yeah.
something you don't want to miss right there. Then you got Michigan. Auto Club's going to be the All-Star race. Round of 16 is going to start October 16th, so they do have playoffs in this series. October 16th, going to the legendary North Wilkesboro. And then, Jason, I'll let you round out the last three remaining races.
So then, after North Wilkesboro on October 23rd, the round of 12 will head off to Kansas for 133 laps. Then the round of 8 heads over to Phoenix for 156 on November 6th. November 6th. I'm sorry about that. And then the final race, the final four will go to battle on November 13th at Las Vegas for 133 laps or
133
200
laps.
miles.
That's going to be these boys. They're going to end the chase on a gamble. They're going to go gamble in Las Vegas as we're waiting for the lights to go off on the pace car. Not sure if lights are off as of now or not. But, man, oh man, I'm excited for that Texas race on September 11th. Really excited for September 18th. But then, September 25th. And you're talking, you got two races, Talladega and Michigan. Then you're going into the chase with the All-Star race in between that. But man, oh man, Daytona Road, Talladega, Michigan, to fight your way into that chase or the playoffs, as we'll call it. If you're on the bubble when it comes to the points, and I need a graphic for the points, I will have it next week, I promise, for the Saturday Night Syndicate Cup Series. Man, those are three races that's not the tracks you won't be on the bubble at. Because Talladega, Jason, you know, it's out of the driver's hands, basically.
Oh yeah, you just you gotta hold the throttle down, and
And pray.
it's hard to see, when you're right up next to somebody, or right behind somebody, all you can see is their bumper. So that's when the big wrecks get dangerous, because those guys, if they don't have a real-time spotter, you can't see anything. You just see the car in front of you,
That's
and
all you
that's
see. Right. That's a good
yep.
point. That's a good point. And now that happens too at these short tracks. So it does happen. But at a track like Talladega, Daytona, iRacing Super Speedway, you're so close to everybody. I mean, there's times where you'll be three wide for 30 laps. And it's just three wide by three wide by three wide. Just rows of two wide, three wide. And all it takes is one small mistake by any driver in that pack. And you could have upwards of 20 torn up race cars. We've seen it happen. I mean, we called the front row iRacing Series Daytona race the other night, and they had a crash that ended up involving 17 cars. Out of that 17, 7 of them were done. Couldn't take no more damage, was done for the night, shut it down. So, as we see, the lights are still on the pace car. Give me an update, Mr. Raymond. I know you're able to hear what they're talking about.
I actually haven't heard anything in a little while. They're just kind of rolling around right now. Toms have been quiet, and
Lights are off on the pace car.
if I just let you know, if I go quiet for a little bit, I got the real NASCAR race on next to me, so just checking that out. But
Just no
back to
spoilers. You got people that watch it.
I know.
No
Just
spoilers.
saying. Back to the schedule. It might be a little biased here. race I'm looking forward to the most is on October 16th at North Wilkesboro, and I love short tracks. It's definitely gonna be a fun one to call the action for.
And you know, Wilkesboro don't have lights. It's not like this track. They're not going to be transition to night there. It's going to be daytime. It's going to be hot and slick. That track's going to be greasy. But right here, this is something new here. Jonah Colbert, 31 machine, that Ford Mustang, with Tyler Gatke and that Ford Mustang on the outside representing Canada. Got a whole nation pulling for him. Tyler Gatke at 16. Fields in command of the 31. 31 gets a great jump. That 87 of Eddie Smith. He's fighting in conditions that he hasn't had to be in yet. He hadn't been no further back in second. Running third now. Got to P2. Going to try to work over that 31 machine of Jonah Colbert. That's Eddie Smith. And I think he might have the pace to be able to do it. That's not taking anything from Colbert. We've seen Colbert be fast every race thus far. But Eddie Smith has been just above and beyond fast tonight.
As we got Charlie Gates in the comments section saying that Eddie and Jonah together on the inside is gonna be hard to beat.
They are teammates, if I do recall Eddie Smith's,
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Eddie
Well, that
Smith's interview last week. Now, Charlie Gates, you can clarify that if you will, brother. But I'm almost positive that they are teammates, and teammates are a good thing. They're never a bad thing. Granted, you don't want to be racing against a teammate late in the race, but as we say in Five Kings Motorsports, we're friends to the last 10 laps. In the last 10 laps, when I'm racing, I want to beat Jason Raymond. I want to beat Scotty Stevens. I want to beat Joshua Sexton more than I want to beat anybody else on the track. And that's just the way it is. But, contrary to that, a team win is better than a solo win. That's been our motto from day one. So we're not going to get up there and wreck each other because we are teammates. But we will get up there and we will race each other hard, as we see Eddie Smith jumping to the outside of 31 machine, going to try to make that power move. Every time we've seen the leader pass thus far tonight, it's been on the outside. Eddie Smith's done it twice now. Nothing's changed.
As Charlie Gates just confirmed, they are teammates, and as you were talking about teammates there, I agree with you though. Once you get to those last 10 laps, you want to be the teammate more than anything.
Caution is out.
Caution's out.
Caution is out on the speedway.
I can't see who it is, but before or as we're going to take a look back at it, when you want to beat a teammate, it's you get bragging rights. So that's something good to have. Brag about
Check
it.
the chat, Jason. I think that's an admin caution because once again, I'm not seeing anything on the tattletale box.
Let me check. I do not know. It did not say it was an admin caution. Oh wait, yes it did. Unless this is old. It was an admin caution.
Let's see. Who all do we have in here? I was going to pull somebody up for a mid-race interview, but it's kind of weird. You never want to step on somebody if they're already talking. I'm going to try to dial up Eddie Smith, get him up here in the broadcast booth. We'll see if he, hopefully we're not stepping on him or anything. Eddie Smith, this is Tanner Marr, Jason Raymond in the Five Kings Network broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, sorry, Eddie, to bring you up, but we are under caution a little bit right here, so just wanted to have a quick word with you. I've noticed you, man, on that outside lane. You've been dominant. You've been selling it in there, racing people clean, but you have good race pace. Talk me through your night thus far with about, well, you're going to have about a little bit over 50 laps to go remaining.
Yeah, car's good. It's really tight. The setup's really tight. It's I don't know. I said it was good, but it actually is driving like just straight crap.
Right.
So
Well, you're a race car driver. I mean, we get it.
Well, I'm hoping with the sun going down that that this night setup they put in here will do a do a good job of kind of giving us a little bit more speed. It's been really tight. So track position's been really important. Being able to get out to the lead there on that big run was huge because I just don't know how you pass anybody if you're running similar speeds.
Right.
It's gonna be impossible. So. Just trying to maintain pace. I wanted it to go green. I think we're in good shape. The caution did fall, but fell in a good spot. So, I feel pretty good. But Mark Arthur and I'm sorry, these guys are new. Joshua Sexton are really fast, so I definitely don't feel good. I feel like they're probably a little bit faster than me. So
I don't know, Eddie.
we'll
You
see.
jumped out.
We'll see what happens, brother.
You jumped out to a really good lead. Mark Arthur did jump out the first run, but I think you wasn't showing your whole hands. I don't think you showed everything you had. And then that last run, man, you looked undeniable. So we'll get you back down to your race team. You got a teammate going to be lining up right there with you. It's Mr. Colbert at 31. Eddie will be up here calling the action, maybe talking to you at the end. Good luck, brother.
Thanks, guys.
I like Eddie. Eddie is he's really, really fast, but I can tell, I've talked to him like 3 times now, and you can tell he's really, really respectful, and he's just down to earth. And normally when you come across these fast guys on iRacing, that's not typically what you get, Jason, as you know. I mean, you've seen it thus far.
Oh yeah, usually, I'm not trying to, I'm not bad mouthing anybody, but usually, really really fast guys, they're always super cocky, and Eddie's just chill. He doesn't ever seem cocky. He knows that it's racing and anything can happen, and that's something I like about him. He's, like you said, he's down to earth, he's chill, and he just comes out here, he races, he doesn't really worry about anything else or worry about anything too much. He just kind of runs his race and sees how it plays out for him.
He kind of faked me out in the pit right then. I thought he was going to pit.
I did too, so that makes 2 of us. So we see the lights are off on the pace car, I believe. So
They
that's
are.
one more time around, and then that pace car will take that hard left turn, and these guys will get ready to go back green here.
Let's see. Maybe they don't have lane choice in this series, because we've seen the leader take the bottom every time. But I could have swore they did. Give a quick little update for Matt Gardner to the 5 Kings Motorsports drivers. You have Scotty Stevens firing off P3 inside row number 2. Joshua Sexton's going to be rolling off P6. And then Mark Arthur kind of had a bad pit stop. Got caught on pit lane as the caution fell. Rolling P14 right now, trying to battle his way back. He's led some laps, but sitting in the hornet's nest right now. You see Eddie Smith. He's going to bring these guys around turn 4. Pace car going to make a hard left turn like you mentioned, and they're going to be off to the races. Eddie Smith gets a great jump. Jonah Colbert, I thought he got a good jump with him, but Eddie Smith able to clear that driver going into turn 1 and 2. But they're 2 by 2 behind Jonah Colbert fighting for P4 and P3.
As we see Scotty Stevens is trying to make his way up to the front. The 23 is Aaron Adcock, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's bad. That was my paint scheme of the night, and I don't even remember who's driving it.
It was your Smeel Racing Design's best paint scheme of the night.
Sorry, yeah, I got a bad memory apparently, and I'm only 18 years old, so this is not a good thing. But still fairly new here, so we'll figure it out as we go.
I just see Adcock actually made a power move, got around Scotty Stevens from that restart. We mention it every week. You got to get everything you can on these restarts, whether you're on a short track, 1.5 miles, a plate track. Get everything you can as these drivers are bunched up.
Hey, restarts are always super important. As I hear people apologizing over the radio, I'm not sure what happened, but we're still under green, no harm, no foul, and you see Mark Arthur starting to try to carve his way up through the field.
We went back here to check out this MF Racing Designs number 11 machine. Slight contact between him and Tyler Gatke in at 16. That FedEx Denny Hamlin replica got a little bit of damage right then, taking it 3 wide. That's what you got to worry about. Yes, Mark Arthur was fast in the beginning. Kind of got shuffled back due to pit call. Now he's trying to methodically and safely make his way up through the pack. But I can't really say safely whenever you're 3 wide.
Oh, as we see some smoke and a driver spinning through the front stretch of grass.
Is that Cameron Combs, I do believe.
I will go check on my
I'm looking.
end.
Oh, yeah, Cameron Combs gets loose out of turn 4. Goes to the grass. Goes for a little bit of a wild ride. Jumping. Dukes a hazard in that car a little bit. Trying to get to some pavement where he has some grip. Luckily for him, he did not damage the car right then. So, I mean, there's never really a good thing to come out of going through the grass except for iRacing. We don't tear off splitters and stuff. As caution is out on the racetrack somewhere, And it just says yellow flag again. I'm not understanding what is going on, folks, with this SDK right now.
That was not an admin caution either. Hang on, let me go back to mine and see if I can find out what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not. It's not telling me anything. If we see Joey Buscemi on the replay going down into pit road, thought maybe he was involved, but no, he didn't. He skipped pit road. Yeah, folks, I apologize wholeheartedly. I'm not exactly sure why it's not bringing up the cautions for us. Because look at there, William Griffith has lost a motor. William Griffith.
You know, I'm over on my end here, and I don't even see anything.
See if we can ride along.
There
Here we go. I got it.
Yep, we got it at the same time.
All right, folks. So it's just not telling me why the caution was, but we did get it pulled up right there. See if we can go back just a little bit. These are going to be the wrong drivers. I do apologize, folks. As you see, that 04 just gets turned a little bit by the 27. Oh, nowhere to go for the 12 machine. And then another car piled in there with nowhere to go. But you know, on iRacing, you ever got smoke coming out of the car like that with no fast repair? It's going to take at least 30 minutes to fix that car in the pits. But he's rolling, so he did not have the required repair, so that is a good thing. But, man, oh man, we have a busy pit lane, folks, as I missed it because we were trying to figure out exactly what was going on. And I'm not seeing anybody take a gamble with only 2 tires, Jason, as I'm coming through looking at the pit time. I think most of these drivers elected to take 4 tires, and Daniel D. Cunningham actually had a 24-second pit stop. So I think that driver elected to get some damage fixed. And, you know, there's a driver we haven't mentioned a whole lot tonight. Tia Swink, that 66 machine. That's a beautiful car. I think it's a Kobe Bryant memorial car that Ryan Blaney had. Now, granted, this is a little bit different, but that's the type of vibe it gives me when I look at the side of this car. Although it don't have, like, the snakes scaling or anything like that. But Tia Swink, he's been quiet thus far on the broadcast. Ain't had to mention his name at all. But he's currently up to P6. So firing off in this restart, he's in the hunt to get him a solid top 5 finish with about 47 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, I just want to jump back to what you said a couple seconds ago with the drivers electing to take 2 tires. You know, with how many sets they have, I personally wouldn't take 2 tires and take the gamble of not knowing what the car is gonna do. I know track position's key here, but you know, without knowing what the car is gonna do and how it's gonna react, I don't want to risk it, especially with no fast repair. That's my personal thought. What would you end up doing?
If I'm rolling 10th on back, say I'm Mark Arthur, got up there and led some laps, did pit about 30 laps ago, but there's been a lot of caution laps in between that time. I'm taking 2 tires. I'm going to gamble it right there. Just because I think cautions breed cautions. I think if I can get the track position, haven't used my left sides a whole lot, I'll take them right sides and gamble. It is a gamble because it can upset the handling of the race car. And it does it really bad on iRacing. That's one thing iRacing needs to look at, is trying to fix what the cars react and feel like whenever you only take 2 tires versus taking 4 tires. So you are right with that. It is a gamble. But I think track position is key if you're back in the hornet's nest. But it could also come back and bite you. That's what they call it. It's a risk, you know. As that 04 machine's exiting pit road, he has a beautiful Cookies car, but that Cookies has a little bit of damage. That Cookies needs some milk or something to fix him up.
Yeah, I mean, that's I lost it when you said that one.
Yeah, got him that time, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That was pretty funny. But the lights are off on the pace car here, as you know, these drivers are getting ready to go green again here. We see Eddie Smith lining up on the inside of the front row for this restart, with Jonah Colbert starting outside front row. And then behind them, they got Aaron Adcock in the 23 car starting 3rd, and Steve Loving starting 4th to round out the first 2 rows. And we'll go back, you know, we'll just, you know, give a recap of the top 5. We got Daniel Cunningham up in round out to the top 5 here.
It's going to get interesting here. That pace car's about to make that left-hand turn on the pit road.
As I'm hearing somebody's wheel disconnected or something. Their steering is the steering is off. Probably probably tow.
Oh, from the incident, yes. I see Eddie Smith gets a great jump. 31 is trying to get there, but Eddie Smith has shown all night long that he has this great pace, whether it's short run, long run. It does not matter to that driver. He just gets up and goes, but Jonah Colbert's looking really strong in that 31 as we see he's up 8 spots from where he gridded at.
Yeah, not sure if, maybe not, it may not be just, better driving these cars with a setup. Maybe Eddie Smith is just smoother, on the steering wheel. And as we see, did it look like the 27 almost tagged the wall there as he pushed tight a little bit on it?
Got tight. That wall reached out and tried to grab him a little bit. And there it's just a cluster of cars right here. You got Daniel D. Cunningham, Scotty Stevens, and Mark Arthur, Joshua Sexton. That 27 and 11. They, man, oh man, they are 3 wide with the 11 in the middle again. This did not end well for the 11 earlier. They sorted it out and they're still rolling straight. But man, oh man, this is where you try to get everything you can on these restarts, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to pass a bunch of cars in bunches, as you see. Mr. Big Fish Motorsports, Logan Sturgeon, 26 machine, looking to the inside of Scotty Stevens, going to send it to the inside of the 27 as well. Logan is looking really fast right now. Gets a little loose
there.
Got a little bit loose.
The 27 on the outside got loose on there too. It looked like they were tandem drifting there for a second.
Yeah, they were in the wrong sport. What's that called whenever there's a drift competition? I can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
Formula Drift?
Formula Drift, exactly, yes. They went from NASCAR to Formula Drift right then, and both drivers did great handling that car. You see Scotty Stevens, Logan Sturgeon almost make contact. Those drivers have a slight bit of history right there from the short tracks. So it's good to see that they can put all that behind them, get back to racing good on the track. I love this series. I hated what happened, but that's neither here nor there. You see the 02 trying to work with and against the 26, but 26 is looking to the inside of 27. 27 gets into the wall right there. That's going to allow that 26 machine to get by the 27 and maybe bring the 02 with him.
Yeah, this 26 looking super strong right now. I'm not sure. As he actually just, powers underneath the 23 of Aaron Adcock. I'm not sure if he has 4 fresh tires or...
He does. He pitted on lap 127.
Okay, yeah, well, hey, he's looking stout right now.
So that's something we haven't seen all night, really. We haven't seen drivers come out here and just muscle their way to the inside. As you see that 23, though, he said it's not going to be without a fight. And they make contact. Oh no, Logan Sturgeon is going around. No way.
That is not what you want to see. That is super unfortunate. Broadcasters curse. It's all my fault. I am sorry about that. His name is Logan, right?
Yes, just slight contact
Logan.
Between them drivers. I know Logan is upset because I'm upset for him. Man, oh man, that's a bummer right there because he was looking strong. And we're going to go back on the Kendra's Wreckage replay and see what happened here. You seen the 23. He was going to fight back. He wasn't going to let the 26 just have it. And just slight contact that just upset the 26. Luckily for Logan, his car is not going to be damaged too bad. He did get the wall with the back end and the front end slightly, but I think he will be okay. He's just going to have to simmer down because I know the tempers are flaring right now. They have to be. You're running that strong. We're all emotional as you see Eddie Smith dipping down pit lane. Mark Arthur stayed out that time, so that's something to watch. Jonah Colbert went down pit lane. Man, oh man. I just got an update. We will, Jason, towards the end of the race. He's wanting to already break out the I'm pretty sure it's the P&J Motorsports Hard Luck Award. We will give that out towards the end of the race. I want to see what these drivers are doing. So Colbert taking 4 tires. Eddie Smith 4 tires. So Logan Sturgeon gonna come in. I love when they drop through boxes, like drop through the cars. That 26 machine does have quite a bit of right rear damage, actually, though. I didn't think it was actually that bad. I didn't think he got it that hard, but luckily for him, like I mentioned earlier, they are at Iowa. It's not going to affect them too bad.
Oh, I heard you say MacArthur stayed out, but I was not paying attention. I was trying to get the stream all updated on my end. I did not realize that he's now in the lead with Scotty Stevens in P2 and Joshua Sexton in P3. So that's definitely a shakeup in the lineup there. I did not see that.
I try to be as unbiased as I can, but you got 5 Kings Motorsports 1, 2, and 3 right now. But it's not over yet. There's still a lot of racing left out here. You got Eddie Smith on fresh rubber. That'll be the first car out on fresh rubber. He'll be rolling off P8 on this restart.
Yeah, we know he's shown great speed all night. We know he's fast as is. So, with the fresh tires and the top guys being on old tires, he may just come slicing through the field rather quickly.
I think he will. I mean, I don't know how much I like this decision by Mark Arthur and them. Now, granted, they did pit on lap 127, so about 15 or so laps have been put on these tires. About 13 race laps, really. But, like I mentioned earlier, I said 7 laps could make the difference between a race win and finishing second place. And, I mean, we may get it right here. They started the race out with a long green flag run. Well, they went to lap 15, and then they broke off like a 80, 90 lap green flag run. So if you're following the trends of this race, we're due a long green flag run. And if that happens, I think Eddie Smith is going to be too fast. Him and Jonah Colbert, Daniel D. Cunningham, Tyler Gackey, T.S. Swink, Aaron Adcock, all them drivers that just elected to pit on lap 140. Man, oh man, I think they're going to be too fast to hold off with no caution. But now's the time to ask the fans at home, out in viewer land, who do you got? You got Mark Arthur, P1, Scotty Stevens, P2, Joshua Sexton, P3, Brandon Rawlins, and Chris Reese. Chris Reese, that's a driver we haven't mentioned a lot tonight. If I do recall correctly, somebody can help me out for sure, but I think he does have a win in this series already. He's searching for win number 2. That's Chris Reese in the 62 machine. So you know he's going to be bad fast.
Who did you say? Chris Reese?
Yeah, wasn't that the other driver that's won in this series?
Negative. That would be Chris Bass. So.
Oh, Chris Bass. That is correct. I stand corrected. And Chris Bass is not here tonight. Thank you for that, sir.
As we got in the
Lori
comments,
Lyle says Mark Arthur away.
Yep, I was just gonna say, Viewerland, as you like to call it, that's a good name actually. I wish you could name chats because Viewerland would be a great name.
I've heard Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. That's what they call it on First Take.
No idea what you just said, but
you don't know what First Take is?
Nope.
Or not first. It's actually called Undisputed. Lights are off on the pace car. It's a sports talk show on ESPN and FS1 actually.
Oh, I got you now. All right, like you said, lights are off on the pace car as it's gonna take the hard left turn. Let's see, can Mark Arthur get a great jump like he has earlier on in this race? As he fires off and. Actually,
I noticed something right there. I wonder if he counted down the 051 and the 02 right there because they all fired off instantly together. So that's where teammates right then they come in. But I promise you, Joshua Sexton gets into the wall a little bit right there. Didn't lose a whole lot of time to Mark Arthur. But I already see Eddie Smith. His name is coming up the list. He is coming, folks. I promise you.
Oh yeah, he's rolling. He's definitely.
He's coming.
He's rolling right now.
Eddie Smith in that 87. He's very, very smart. I don't think he's going to put himself in a position as he was close to going 3 wide there, but thought better of it. He's got enough time to where he can be methodical here. He can pick off drivers one by one if he needs to. Ooh, getting put in a tight spot right there. Yeah, got put in a tight spot.
There's still a long race here, but, I wonder how long he's going to be patient with these guys in front of him because, if they keep holding him off and Mark Arthur and Scotty Stevens and Joshua Sexton work together, maybe if he gets himself in a hole, he might not have time to catch back up. But, as I'm saying that, he's still stuck with these guys, but he can see the top 3 cars right outside of his mirror, and he's hunting them down.
Right outside his windshield.
Yes, mirror. Sorry, I am thinking the wrong way. Literally thinking.
He is coming, folks. Now, There's the question. If you're Mark Arthur, if you're Josh Sexton and Scotty Stevens, Eddie Smith's coming. If he gets by you here and the caution comes out, you have to pit at this point. But then you lose a lot of track position. And you see, they actually got a pretty good gap over Brandon Wallace in 5th between Scotty Stevens and Brandon Wallace. And Cameron Combs is coming now, too. As they're side-by-side racing, they're trying to sort it out. That 31 machine of Jonah Colbert going to say, the heck with both of you. I'm going to try to get 2 spots for 1. And he comes in with a bad angle into turn 3 and 4. That's not going to let him carry the momentum. And man, oh man, this is the race right here. I don't want to leave the camera off Eddie Smith too long because I know fireworks are getting ready to get lit up in the top 3 and top 4. But man, oh man, this is a battle right here.
Oh yeah, Jonah Colbert watched his teammate of Eddie Smith come through the field, and he was like, if he can do it, I can do it too, and he's ready to go after that.
They are 3 wide out of turn 4. Sorry to interrupt you. They are 3
okay.
wide.
You seem to like interrupting me, so it's okay.
Yeah,
but
it's a good deal.
We're good. We're calling action. We're having a good time here, enjoying the race, and it's getting close to the 26. It's starting to carve his way back through the field after that misfortune that brought out the last caution.
Oh, I promise you, one thing for certain, if Eddie Smith don't get up there to lead, there is one thing for certain. Logan Sturgeon's going 110% right now. As we see Eddie Smith up to P2. I can't focus on him too hard because, man, oh man, this is what's hard for a broadcaster. There's racing everywhere. I'm getting excited. I'm getting amped up. Love seeing the action, but don't know what to call.
Yeah, I agree. There's action all over the place, and we see Eddie Smith is definitely faster than Mark Arthur here, but like you said earlier, if Eddie Smith gets around them, I feel like you have to pit for tires. And, we saw him come through the field rather quickly as he almost just gave Mark Arthur a little hello tap there through the center of the corner. He's going to look to the inside going into turn 3.
Ooh, that's a good camera angle right there as we go inside. I mean, that's how close those drivers are. They are neck and neck right now. Mark's trying to fight. Man, oh man, this is getting heated. Guys, 87's got the fresh rubber, got the advantage right now, and just took the lead over Mark Arthur with 23 laps to go. If there's not a caution, I don't think Mark has any way to fight back with the 87. 87's just been too fast all night. It's not taking anything away from the 11 car. It's giving props to the 87. He's got the advantage with the tires, and man, oh man, his pace is out of this world. And I want to go back to Logan Sturgeon at a Big Fish Motorsports in that 26 machine. Ohio State Buckeyes. Getting by Cameron Combs, worked his way up to P7, trying to fight back.
We got the commenters in viewerland. We got Charlie Gates coming in and said the fans are on their feet chanting Eddie, Eddie, Eddie.
Hey, I'm right there with them. I am right there with them. This is exciting. That's why I love these long races, because you get tire strategy, you get different pit calls, and that's what we're seeing right now. The 11, the 051, the 02. Granted, they haven't fallen off a lot, but they did kind of make their bed when they elected not to pit on lap 140 with the rest of the field. And you see, Eddie Smith, you give him just a little bit of an advantage, and he's going to take it because he's a racer. That's what he's supposed to do. And he played it smart. And we're 20 laps to go now, and Eddie Smith back out front.
Yeah, you may not think you're falling off a lot, but when you get somebody with fresh rubber right behind you, you can't really put up that much of a fight, especially at tracks like this. We know this track's really abrasive on tires, really bumpy, so tires are definitely key here. And I just want to mention the chant has now changed. Apparently, we got Mark going now.
Now we got different sections of the crowd battling. Y'all battle it out, folks. Give us something else to talk about up here, because this is exciting on track. It can be exciting in the comments. So right now it's looking like the Eddie Smith Mark Arthur show. Is there anybody else out there rooting for somebody? As I don't want to abandon the rest of the pack, we got Steve Loving. Steve Loving got elected to pit on lap 140. He's currently trying to make his way up. He's up to P10, up 7 spots, started 17th on the grid. So he's a net positive right now, trying to bring up that 66 machine of TS Swink with him past Cameron Combs. Remember, Cameron Combs did not pit on lap 140. He was last on pit road on 127.
we're starting to wind down laps here. We got 16 to go this time by, and I was gonna say a few seconds ago that Mark Arthur isn't falling back that much, and he's right about 3/10, which is just one mistake away from getting back to Eddie Smith. But Eddie Smith is a guy, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's nice and smooth, and we're starting to see that even though Mark Arthur may be faster, it's he's on the older tires, so like you can't
I don't
close in and do anything with it.
I
There's a
don't think
wind
he is
barrier there
faster.
pretty much.
I just don't think he is faster now. I think the tires have put the pace within Eddie Smith's hands, and he's just holding it right there. He's managing the lead right now, doing a great job. And I mean, there you see. Look at the gap. Currently working at about three tenths over Mark Arthur. So Mark is trying. He is not giving up. He won't give up. He's going to try. As we're coming to, it'll be 13 laps to go this time by.
And we're looking at the rear bumper of Eddie Smith here, and I just want to touch on Jonah Colbert has made his way around.
He has.
To the section,
He has.
Now is hunting down Mark Arthur.
You're exactly right. And that's a teammate to Eddie Smith, Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith on JC Motorsports. So Eddie Smith is thinking 31, get out of that 11, because then you got a grace period there. You got a friendly behind you. I see Justin Hendry's actually elected to go down pit lane. May have been a little bit of a wreckage that didn't equate to a caution further on back or something. I'm not exactly sure. So tough break for that driver.
Yeah, for sure. I'm checking out Viewerland again. We got Lori saying Mark will never give up, and that's true. But I just think his tires are so much older that I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to do anything with it.
And in hindsight, really, they're only 13 laps older, but only. I mean, they don't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. And like I mentioned earlier, 7 laps could be the difference between a win and second place. And I mean, we're seeing that right now. 13 lap older tires, and you're seeing a difference between pace. As actually that time by, Mark Arthur was only 100ths off, with Jonah Colbert being the fastest car on the track that time by.
Yeah,
And
you
once
said
again,
you said it was only 13 laps difference of tires, but then you got to think too. Those 13 laps have added on to the laps we've ran in this
exactly.
longer green flag run. So they're definitely, once you get to a certain point with these tires that the car just gets super tight and hard to control and hard to keep going at full speed. So you got to think, like, I'm not sure how many laps it's been, but those extra 13 laps, that's a big difference on this tire.
It is. It's starting to really show now because, I mean, we know Eddie Smith's been fast. Jonah Colbert, he started 10th, so he did not qualify probably as good as what that driver wanted to, but he's showing that he does have great pace up to P3 and about to be on the back door of the 11 car. And Eddie Smith, he wants to see them two drivers start racing because you're not nearly as fast when you get side by side with the driver versus what you could be when you're just out single file turning laps. And we're coming to 7 laps to go this time by. It's been a really good race.
Yeah, I said it last week, and I'm gonna say it again. I said it earlier tonight, actually. These guys have a lot of respect for each other. There hasn't been a lot of cautions, a lot of, there was that longer caution period because of an iRacing glitch, but that's nothing these guys control. These guys are very respectful to each other, and if you're looking for a league to run in a cup car, this is definitely one of the best, and definitely a place to be.
See Tyler Gatke in that 16 machine. I saw some names start to shake a little bit on SDK, and that's what we saw. Aaron Adcock made the pass over Scotty Stevens. Aaron pitted on lap 140, so he's on fresher rubber than what Scotty's on. Tyler Gatke pitted on lap 140. He's a little bit fresher. You're starting to see. So it was Scotty, Josh, and Mark that elected to be the first 3 that stayed out on track. And right now it's just Scotty Stevens falling back a little bit, as we've seen a little bit of smoke right then.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on that. I saw a little bit of smoke. I'm not sure what happened, but we go back up here to the battle for second and third. And Jonah Colbert's, definitely noticeably faster, but maybe the tires are starting to even out a little bit. As you see, he kicks it a little sideways right there.
He's starting to really push that car to its limits, and you got to be worried about that. Yes, you want to be on the ragged edge, but you got to be careful. You can't overstep that edge. And we're seeing Jonah Colbert. He is really willing that machine. And even stepping loose like that, Jonah Colbert's been the fastest guy on track like the last 10 laps that I've seen. He is the fastest car on the track, but we talk about it on the short tracks all the time on Tuesday nights. Being faster than somebody is one thing, and getting to them, the whole different story and ball game when you go to try to pass that driver.
Yeah, you gotta be you gotta be at least what would you say, a tenth to 2 tenths faster
Almost
to
two
actually get
tenths
around him.
faster. Almost 2 tenths faster for coming two to go.
Yeah, so 2 tenths. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, obviously, but if you're 2 tenths faster than somebody, and you're definitely gonna be way faster, and you need that to be able to get around somebody. And he did say getting to him is one thing, passing him is another, and that's completely true. As we see, Eddie Smith has walked away here, and he's just, if they're coming to the white flag, final lap, and anything could happen at that point, and race would be official. But he has a lap car in front of him, but I don't think that lap car is gonna play any role, as he's out for a cruise right now, and just needs to hold the wheel straight and not push the car too hard and try not to make a mistake, as he has that at turn 2.
Came out of turn 2, going down the backstretch at Iowa Speedway. This is going to be race win number 7 for that 87 machine of Eddie Smith, that Chevy Camaro. Ripping Mississippi State College tonight. Brought it home. P1. The battle for second it was fierce. It was intense, but Mark Arthur was able to get it. And as you see there, crashing out of the line. They don't know the deal. They got to go up there and hit Eddie Smith for the crash up derby. He's the driver to watch. As I see a guy getting up to speed down the backstretch, he's going to take him out. Then you had Joshua Sexton P4, P5 Daniel D. Cunningham. Solid top 5 for Daniel D. Logan Sturgeon fought back, had some adversity late in the race, came back and brought it home P6. So there we see this winning moment brought to you by the Keswick Group. Burn it down, young son. Burn it down. That 87 machine, he's getting really good, getting a lot of practice. As I'll let you move the drivers up for the broadcast interviews, and I'll get our interview segment ready. As we see, the Rebel Smash 'em Up Derby at the end is about to be underway.
And when I start to see these drivers appear in the waiting room, I will start to move them up. But for now, let's enjoy this smash 'em up derby. And he's still doing the burnouts, even with getting bullied around. He hasn't stopped doing the burnouts, as he has now stopped. As I am just gonna go down to the race team and pull up our third place finisher here. And let me see if I can even move him. I gotta figure this out. Give me a second here.
This will be these post-race interviews brought to you by Shappy Edits. That's Shappy Edits, supplier of the post-race interview, the sponsor. We thank them for coming on board and being the presenting sponsor for these post-race interviews here, as we're waiting for.
As we got Jonah Colbert up here in the booth. This is Jason and Tanner up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
So we saw you qualified in 10th position, and you worked your way up to the front and pretty much stayed there once you got there. And then we saw you elect to pit, and I believe it was lap 140. And you seem to be really fast at the end. And what more did you need to get to the top 2?
Just time. I just ran out of time, man. So the setup was a night setup, and so when the sun was out, it was definitely really, really, really tight, and which does not work for me. I'm more of a loose car type of guy, and so I struggled with qualifying. I struggled early in the race, and once the sun started to go down, and the cars really started to come in for me, and I really started to feel it, and from there, it was just kind of guessing on pit strategy. Everybody was kind of split pitting. You'd have half the field pit one caution, half the field pit the next caution, and it was just kind of back and forth. And I just tried my best to set up for, having the freshest tires at the end, and that's what I did. But I just ultimately ran out of time. So
Yeah, we saw the tire strategy play a factor here, and it was definitely a good race. You know, not a lot of cautions and pretty clean overall. And we saw you were pressuring Mark Arthur there at the end, and I know, you know, like you said, time was not on your side tonight. But before you send you back down, you got anybody you like to thank?
no, just thank my teammate Eddie Smith, man. He's a good driver. It's great to see him win and get on that podium, man.
10-4, good race.
Thanks.
Good job, Jonah. Congratulations on the podium finish, brother.
Thanks.
That was Jonah Colbert, driver of number 31, Oklahoma State University car. And now we switch over. We change gears a little bit. We go to Mr. Mark Arthur. You fell one spot short. This is Tanner and Jason in the Five Kings Network booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Mark, we saw you jump out early, got the lead. I want to talk about something real quick before we get into the interview. We saw that outside lane on restarts was the dominant lane if you're on the front row. I mean, you did it to Eddie Smith early on, took the lead. Then Eddie Smith did it to you later on. In this series, do y'all not have lane choice?
I have no idea. It's my first race, so I didn't even know if I was supposed to go on green or go on a leader. Or,
Okay.
you know, I kind of was talking to them during the driver interviews or the driver meeting, so that was kind of my fault. And so I was kind of oblivious, you know, to all that stuff starting off. But the car was so loose, especially on the bottom, if you didn't have that room to wash out toward the wall. So if you're on the high side, you didn't get loose. So you could, you know, get back in the gas a little bit more. That's what that was.
So Mark, I mean, still, I know you personally. You want to get that win. You were hungry for that win. You wanted to come in here and win tonight, your first race. Came up one spot short. There is going to be a little break period. Then on September 11th, actually, we come back and we're going to Texas. How you like your chances going into Texas? You going to be with us for the rest of the season?
Yeah, that's what I was just telling them, and I was talking to Eddie. And you know, this is the only night of the week I can race, so I'll probably come back. I mean, I don't really care for this car, but you know, it was fun. You know, it's iRacing setup, so it's going to be tight and loose, and you get a, you know, Maj Podge of car feel all the way through the corner. Usually with the iRacing setup, you never know what it's going to do, and I don't like that. But you know, I'll stick with it and race it. And you know, as I learn this car more, that's what happened to me there. I kind of shot out front there, and then he was catching me back. I was watching his lap times, and I said, well, I probably shouldn't have ran out there that hard. So then I kind of learned to save those tires a little bit.
We kind of noticed that. I hit on that. If you ever watched broadcast back, when I'm sure you will, you jumped out to a decent lead early on. Whenever you did go to the outside of Eddie Smith, got the lead, you jumped up to almost a second, and I was worried that maybe you were asking a little bit too much out of your equipment. Granted, there was 7 tires in the pits, but you needed the cautions to take them. You know, so
yeah, and that's what kind of got us there toward the end. If we wouldn't have had that last caution, we were golden. I mean, I started 12th with fresh tires, and I just came through there quick and got all the way up to second, and then they pit, and I said, well,
your bed's made at that point.
Yeah, my best bet is to stay off sequence, and then hopefully, if you know there was another caution,
right,
then they wouldn't pit, and I would, and then you know be off sequence again and have the better tires. But the caution just didn't fall. You know, fell for them, didn't fall for me, and that's the way it goes.
That's racing. I mean, it's
Yeah,
chess and checkers. Yeah. You got to know what to play at that time. But
I for real thought that Jonah was going to pass me. I was thinking,
quick.
Man, he's going to get me on those fresh tires. But I don't know. That second groove kind of, you know, held its own there, and I could catch Eddie a little bit. I think he plays a lot of cat and mouse off of being behind him, and you know, I know he doesn't go all out. You know, sometimes I'll look down and I'll be even, then I'll be 2/10 faster, and then
right.
He'll be a tenth faster.
Playing cat and mouse.
Yeah,
cat and mouse.
Playing that cat and mouse. I know that game all too well, but you know, I don't know. I was catching him a little bit, and Jonah he caught me, but then he just kind of maintained. And Joshua told me that happened to him too earlier. He caught up to me, but once he got behind me, it kind of got that tight feeling, and he just couldn't get up underneath me. So,
well, all right,
it is what it is. It was fun. I'll be back.
Good deal. We'll have Mark Arthur back September 11th at Texas. I'll be excited to see you out there, Mark. You got any quick shout outs or sponsors you want to throw out there and make that 11 car so fast?
Yeah, I don't know if my mom watched me tonight. I don't know if she was in the stream or not. Her and my sister watched me sometime.
You had some fans.
If she did, shout out to her and my sister. And I drove her favorite driver's car tonight with Denny Hamlin. And
Yuck.
since I work for FedEx, I decided to go and slap that on my car, and I guess I'll drive that throughout the season now. And I'm usually in a pink car, but there's already a pink 12 out there, so I can't do I can't do that. So I'm just gonna ride this the rest of the season, I guess.
All right, then, Mark. Well, congratulations on the podium finish, first race of the season. That's Mark Arthur. Going to be back September 11th
Thanks,
in
Tanner.
Texas.
Thanks, Tanner.
Thank you, buddy. See you. And there you have it. Mark Arthur, first race of the season. Brought it home, one spot shy of victory. But if you're going to lose, I can't think of a better person to lose to than Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith, this is Tanner in the 5 Kings Network booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
So you was the only driver that we pulled up middle of the way through the race just to kind of chat with. We had a little bit of a kerfluffle, we'll call it, with the cautions and iRacing glitching out. But man, oh man, you had a rocket ship all night. And I feel like I said the same thing last week and the week before. Talk me through your race tonight, brother. From about lap 60 on, I don't think you could be denied.
Man, that was a tough race. You know, the first few races of the season, it was all Chris Bass and Zach Wetstein, and then they've had to miss a couple weeks, and we replaced them with Mark Arthur and I think it was Jason Sexton. I'm sorry if I got his first name wrong, but I know his Sexton was last name, and those boys are fast. So it was I heard him say it was doing some cat and mouse. It wasn't no cat and mouse. They were sweating my ass off, is what it was.
You know how
I was driving the hell out of it, trying
right
to get out front. I was trying to get as much time after those pit stops where they came in and were behind after that crazy little ordeal.
right.
And man, I was trying to just get out. I knew they were coming. I mean, I respect people who are fast, and I know when someone's fast and can is going to be a competitor for the win. And so I was watching them. I'm not ashamed to say I was watching and see where they were, paying attention to them, and I saw them move up through the field. I knew I had to go. We got it off sequence. A bunch of guys pitted when I didn't think they would, and
It was strange.
got real lucky, man. I mean, it just got so lucky because if it had gone green, they were going to sail off to the sunset. There wasn't no stopping it, and we got that caution. I was able to come in and get new tires, and I would rather any day of the week be in attack mode than
Absolutely,
defense.
Absolutely.
And whenever that green flag dropped, I told him, I was like, man, I'm gonna drive the hell out of this car and just see where we end up, and was able to get up there and battle for the lead. I want to apologize to Mark. We talked about it and went back and looked, and we was racing hard, but I did clip the apron and kind of went up and doored him as I was trying to get up under him. So
it was slight contact. Man. We caught it. It was slight. Racing hard at that point.
I try to race everybody clean.
Right.
I try to be, I know we was racing hard, but still, I'd like to make passes without touching somebody. So, man, sorry again to him. I just want to say it on air. That was all me, because he drove a hell of a race, respectful race, and I always try to do the same. So, just want to say sorry to him, but I appreciate him being so courteous about it, and we still raced the hell out of him, and he raced the hell out of me, and man, it was a blast.
I bet.
I'm out of breath, man. I got adrenaline flowing. This was a good one. I love this one. This was a good one to win.
It's always fun to win, but it's really fun to win the hard fought ones. Those are the ones you look back on and you're like, man, that was fun. I had a good time there. And granted, like you said, you always want to be in attack mode. Like at last caution, I tell people all the time, I would much rather have the tire advantage, because it may not be a huge advantage. You showed you had race winning pace all night, but you put Eddie Smith. You put the advantage in Eddie Smith's hands, and man, oh man. But not only you did have to come to the field. There was a few times I noticed you backed out of going 3 wide, so you were smart about it. You did it methodically and were patient enough, but still got up to the front. So that's Eddie Smith, 87. Is that race win number 7? I do believe.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think it is. Now, Grant, I did jump in here late.
That is correct. Win number 7.
Yep. So Eddie, we're going to have to put like a bounty or something on you, brother.
I feel like it's there every week because I have to race my ass off every week to get these wins. So
you
that's
put a
why
show
I keep
on.
coming back here, because they're not easy. I don't care what anybody says. It might look like 7 in a row, but I can promise you, every week. It's badass driving, having to race my guts out to get these victories. And Mark Arthur was never more than a second away from me at any point when I was
Right.
in the lead. So he was always there. It was not something I was just, I wasn't sipping tea with one hand and driving with the other. It was white knuckling it. So it doesn't come easy. That's why it makes them so good whenever you do win, because the competition here is just so amazing. So
Eddie, let's hear who makes that 87 machine go so fast. Aside from just the driver and the talent, obviously, you got any sponsor shouts you want to throw out there?
yeah, we had Mississippi State University. It was college night, so I had them on there. So Hail State, got to shout them out. My wife said I had to win tonight if I had Mississippi State on the car, so we got her done. And I want to thank Trigger Time, who's come on board. I want to thank my teammates, JC Motorsports, Jonah Colbert. Great job finishing third, man. Hell of a run there he had. He struggled for a little first part of the race, but was able to come through the field and get a podium. Chris Reese and Daniel Cunningham, great teammates, always bouncing information off each other. So got to give a huge shout out to them. All the commissioners, Griff, who puts a lot of work into this series. Matt Geis, sorry, just struggling.
You're good.
And Jason Reisman Insurance, who sponsors the series. And thanks to you guys. And sorry, I know I'm going long, but I just want to, just something that I forgot to do the other night that I wish I would have. But I just want to give a shout out to all the families of the 12 servicemen who passed away in Afghanistan. Just want to give, I want to send some love and prayers their way. I know they're going through some hard time, and I just want to send that out there. So prayers to their family.
Eddie, I'm glad you mentioned that because we put up the schedule earlier and noticed we come back September 11th. So we're going to have a little break period. Going to come back September 11th at Texas, and then everything that's happening in the world right now, it's bad, but we have I mean, I don't know. It's just a rabbit hole, it's tough, but come back September 11th to Texas, Eddie. We'll be out there rooting you on.
All right, guys. Hey, thank y'all so much for coming on board again. We sure do appreciate y'all.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too. All right, Jason. Sorry, folks. Interviews went long, but I get to talking to them guys. Me and Mark Arthur, you put us together and we talk. We got a few awards we got to go through really quick just to make sure we get everything we need as we pull up the race results here. Let's look at the Hard Charger Award. Jason Raymond, you got a copy?
I got you.
All right. So I am looking on the list. We don't really have a big mover tonight. If we do have a hard charger, it's Tia Swink and the number 66. So Tia Swink will be the Ray Cobb Memorial number 45 hard charger of the night. That is Tia Swink. Brought that machine up 8 spots. So that's a good night right there. For the P&J Hard Luck Award. I'm going to let you take that one, Mr. Raymond. Give me your P&J Motorsports Hard Luck Award.
I personally, I got to give it to Seth Griffith. He was working his way up through the field, nice and slow, making sure his car was all nice and clean and everything. And then just an unfortunate wreck in front of him. The guy just barely caught his back bumper and sent him into the outside wall. And definitely hard luck for him, I should say.
I will agree with that. I mean, that's the hardest of hard lucks, And I know we went long, folks, since the races ended. There's your results right there, top 18. Before we go, I do want to take one more quick peek at the schedule, and then we'll be out of here. So like we said, we're going to take a little break, be back September 11th, Saturday night at Texas, same time, same place. Then we're going to Daytona Road Course, Talladega, Michigan, excuse me. Then we got Auto Club. That's going to be the All-Star race. And then it's playoff time, babies. Playoff time is at North Wilkesboro. October 16th we'll be here. But for now, it's been Tanner Marr. It's been Jason Raymond. We've been in the 5 Kings Network booth. Brought to you by Intensity Racing, Keswick Group Insurance. Get insured with Jason Keswick, sorry. I had other people message me. Original Rebels Racing League on iRacing. Check them out on Facebook, iRacing, all that. But for tonight, Eddie Smith, winner at Iowa Speedway. We will be back September 11th at Texas. But for now, we are done. We're going to close up shop. Jason Raymond, thank you for coming up in the booth with me, brother. And we'll see you.